Let's get it up. Showtime.
Step in the ring, feel the adrenaline rush, throwing fists and kicks, the pain we can't hush. And then they find us, we're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon, like a warrior I stand, slaying blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live from the Golden Octagon studios in Norfolk, Virginia. This is the Golden Octagon MMA podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose. Dude, that's way too much for me at almost 2 a.m. Dude, I was like, why did I click that one? I should have just did just a regular StreamYard countdown, dude. I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm not trying to hear this right now. But we made it. We are here. Welcome to the Golden Octagon. Post-fight for UFC 302, Islam Makachev versus Dustin Poirier here on the East Coast. It is approximately 1:36 a.m. So if you are up here, up late with us, wanting to get your thoughts and feedback in on the fights, feel free to put it in the comments. We'll pull it up on the screen if I won't get in trouble for putting it up on the screen. And we'll talk about it. But me and D Rose are going to give you our thoughts and opinions on every one of the fights, or at least the main ones that matter for the most part. But before we do that, D Rose, let me ask you, because I already know the answer. I did the same. How did you do betting wise tonight, man?
I will say that of course my one bet that we put on here for change the cheddar, I
don't know. I think D Rose might have froze. Oh, I don't know what happened. Maybe he'll pop back in here. I don't know what happened. So not sure. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic start to this show. Well, with that being said, I know what D Rose was talking about. Let me see if I still have it up here in the chat, because he did give you guys a winning bet on change of cheddar. I hear something, D Rose. I just don't see you moving down there at the bottom yet, so I'll wait just a second. Let's see. Hey, there you are. There you are. He's back. Yeah. I believe you gave out 2. This one, dude.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Alex Morono, but you did give out this one right here, and that one did end up cashing $10 to win 54. It ain't nothing crazy, but it is a winning parlay.
Yeah, little builder there. Could have put a little bit more on there, but it was just a $10 bonus bet that I had from a failed NBA parlay that I ended up placing. So ended up taking a free bonus bet in the 54. When I ended up winning maybe about 240, 250 total. I ended up placing a couple of other parlays as well. Kevin Holland by submission, rounds 1 or 2, and Sean Strickland by points. I was pretty confident in Sean Strickland by decision. Ended up hitting Randy Brown by decision as well was one that ended up hitting pretty big for me as well, and another parlay that I had. So, yeah, I definitely didn't have as great a night as I know you're getting ready to explain, but
No,
yeah,
no.
a better
Everyone's
night
got
for
to.
me than a while.
Yeah, I did very good. I'm most happy about, dude, giving out winning parlays on Change the Cheddar because I cannot wait for the Monday recap because then the cheddar chain comes out for the Monday recap and all that because it feels good, you know. But that'll all be on the Monday recap. But aside from the parlays that I give out, that I did give out on Change the Cheddar Friday or yesterday, man, I did good. I would have done a lot better if Alex Morono would have won his fight, but I
Right.
was smart, dude. I had basically two huge parlays still in after the prelims, dude. One was to win 8,000, one was to win 10,000. And I was looking at them, I'm like, these are basically the same exact parlay. I need to cash one of these out. So I cashed out the one that was more, and oddly enough, the next leg ends up happening. So I would have probably won like 700, but I cashed out for like 440. But Alex Morono money line was the next leg on that. So I'm glad glad that I cashed out, dude. And then I got to the end of the night, and dude, once again would have been the biggest parlay I've ever won. I had Islam submission 2, 3, or 4, and yeah, needless to say, he got the submission in round 5. But yeah, let's talk about the fights. Well, actually, let's shout out the chat real quick because we didn't. We got Daniel Aker with the Electric Night. We appreciate you guys stopping by here because we know it is late. We got Lush saying not many finishes, but some really good fights. I'll work in like 6 hours, so I won't be here for the live recap. We appreciate you either way, Lush. We for stopping by here and just dropping by and saying what's up. And congratulations to whoever predicted the fight right, D-Rose. Someone actually predicted Strickland via split decision. Believe it or not, dude. One person, Lens the Rock, predicted Strickland via split decision, dude. And that judge really helped him out, dude. We got Mo Bear saying great night overall. Yeah, my takes from the night: judges suck, one ref sucks, and DC is still the biggest the dick rider around. Yeah, dude, he was all on Islam for the most parts. Riley saying, "Thank Christ for Kevin Holland." Yeah, the Trailblazer. You know, he came through for us this week. D Rose. You know, he didn't let us down. Trailblazer did.
100%.
And my new nickname for Morono is the Great White Bum, dude. Yeah, I didn't know he was coming in on short notice, late notice, dude. I was like,
I didn't either.
like, where did this come from? I didn't know that was happening. But I mean, he looked the same as he always looked. He didn't look like extra fat or anything. You guys drink on the job? I drink before this current job. Yes, without a doubt. I've been drinking the past couple hours. Roman Kapilov is a beast underdog coming in. He kicked Almeida booty. Indeed. Wasn't the biggest dog, but he did get the dub. And David Fredette says GG's Theros because you just you were starting and then you just dipped. I was like, well, I don't know what happens. Matt cashed out. I did not. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, man. All right, D-Rose. So the fight itself, Islam DP, dude. I thought if Dustin had a chance to win, man, it was probably going to be in the first round. I thought he was going to he was going to have to catch Islam before he was like ready for the range and the distance. I actually, thinking back at it now, dude, I don't know, dude, because from rounds 2 to 4, I'm standing up like this because the fight was on the ground a lot of the time, dude. And Islam was like on his back, like going for subs. And I'm like, yo, yes, yeah. And then he would just get out, dude. So I'll actually have to go back and like rewatch it, actually tell you who I thought like won certain rounds. But it doesn't really matter because Islam gets the 5th round sub, dude. But one thing to me that I did take away from the fight is, dude, Islam, I don't know if, staph infection really was playing a part with his, fight, cardio, whatever, dude. But Islam looked very beatable. I don't know how else to say that. And, dude, after the first takedown in the first round, it's like Islam immediately was like squinting, like he like hurt something, dude. And from that point on, I was like, man, I'm about to lose this damn bet. I just know it right now. Like I kind of feel like something's wrong with him, and I could already tell you that in the first round. But he looked beatable tonight. I don't know if this is going to be Islam always, but if so, dude, I don't know how long Islam will be the reigning 155 champion if this is how he always looks, man. Because man, Dustin was touching him up quite often, man. So I was scared a little bit. I will be taking care of this task tonight. I was scared I was going to have to eat 3 beans, D-Rose. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, I guess give me your thoughts as probably someone that had less alcohol in their body for this fight.
Yeah, no, definitely so. And I was absolutely tense the whole fight because, as I said, I was going to put a little straight bet on Dustin. Of course, Dustin, had he won, would have been a clean sweep and would have been 3 beans for you there. And just Dustin being able to, as the whole narrative coming into this week, finishing the story. I wanted him to do that so bad. And of course, in the first round, Islam gets the takedown. And of course, I'm just kind of like, oh, whatever. It's going to be one of those fights. And all of a sudden, Dustin in the second round, he starts stuffing the takedown. And all of a sudden, he kind of starts touching him up a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay. I liked it a little bit. And then it just seemed like, almost kind of as the fight was going, Dustin was getting a little bit of swagger. But in terms of who won all the rounds, Islam, let's not get it twisted. Islam won all those rounds pretty cleanly. Dustin was competitive in all those rounds, but Islam always made sure he did just enough, whether he would get in the clinch and start throwing knees and elbows and try to trip Dustin, or even just back him up to the fence, or throw a little bit of a combination. I think he actually ended up in hurting Dustin in the first round on the first exchange when Dustin backed up to the fence. I'm pretty sure Dustin was a little wobbled, and that's why he backed up to the fence. But no, I did think that Islam won all the rounds very cleanly. And the thing that I will give Islam credit for is that, man, it kind of alluding to what I said to you just a second ago, just always doing enough just to make sure, just getting dirty. In that last takedown, he ended up getting that ankle pick and taking him down with that thing, man. It's like, dude, it's like he's just throwing one thing after another. He's throwing head kicks, body kicks. Pretty good boxing. He's just relentless in terms of him, just that nonstop motor. And honestly, I mean, I'll agree with you, and I will say that Islam is beatable. I think he's a little bit more beatable than what Khabib was. But I think this fight kind of showed a little bit of the dog in Islam. I mean, if I got to be honest, because I thought Dustin kind of took him to that place a little bit. Now, it wasn't a classic all-time fight, but I think this fight kind of tested a little bit of that dog in Islam, and Islam getting sliced up the way he did. I kind of like the resiliency that he was able to show to kind of bounce back and not really let Dustin steal any rounds, although he was able to have moments in each round.
Fair enough. Yeah. Like I said, I'll have to go back and actually watch the fight sober. But yeah. I was just waiting for the Islam sub 2, 3, or 4, and then round 5, I was screaming for Dustin Poirier to knock him out because I think at that point I put $17 to make my account like even on DP by finish, dude. And then like at one point he like tried to sink in like a ninja choke. I'm like, oh, this is new. And then like if Islam just like ripped his head out, I was like, shit. But with that being said, let's move on down to the co-main event. Paulo Costa, Sean Strickland.
Real quick question. Do you think this is going to be Dustin's last fight? Because they asked him after the fight, and he said it might be, but do you think it will be?
Let me say this. I think he would do, if this is Islam 100%, dude, I think Dustin is still going to continue to probably beat the top 5 for the next 2 to 3 years. But that's if, this was 100% Islam. But does he want to continue? Like, whose name is there if he's not going to fight for the belt? So maybe I could see maybe Max Dustin too for the BMF, maybe that. But dude, aside from, I don't see him just trying to get a title fight like at 155 again. I could see him maybe taking 2 more fights against big names, BMF title, some shit like that, but nothing outside of that. And if he was done, it wouldn't surprise me too much.
Yeah, I think if I had a like a voting chart right now, as far as like a 100% split, man, I think I'm leaning 60-40 versus he'll retire. I think 60 leaning towards he will, because I am kind of with you in the sense that there aren't really that many matchmaking or those matches that you can make for him right now. Like, people could say Conor McGregor. Well, he has already technically beaten him twice in a row. Why would he want to fight him a 4th time? Well, he could fight Max Holloway for the BMF. He's already beaten Max Holloway twice. Like, why would he do that? Well, he can go fight Justin Gaethje for a 3rd time, but they both kind of agreed, even after that last fight, that they didn't even want to fight each other for a 3rd time. So, I mean, I know he's always game to always fight, and he's always competitive, which is why I still think there is that burning desire for him to come back. But, man, I am with you. There's just not really any matches that make sense for him at this moment.
Yeah, man. All right, co-main event, Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa, dude. We had this for 5 rounds, and dude, my opinion after the fight still sticks, man. I actually watched this fight close the whole time. This was, I guess, before I was just like, man, whatever happens, because I had this fight to start round 3 in a few parlays, and I had the fight to start round 4 in a few parlays. So once round 4 started, dude, I got up and made another drink. I was like, fuck it, dude. I don't care. But from what I was hearing, apparently Paulo Costa did all right round 4 and the beginning of 5, I think. Like, he possibly was winning. But, dude, I don't think he won the fight in any way necessary. So when I heard the split decision, dude, I was like, dude, these judges tonight are just absolutely terrible. But yeah, Sean Strickland wins via split decision, man. Paulo looked good, man. If this was a 3-round fight, I still think Paulo would have won. I don't know why, man. But hey, it wasn't. It was 5 rounds, and Sean Strickland won. Boring as shit, but what can you say? Thoughts on this?
Yeah, that it was it definitely ended up being a pretty boring fight when we were kind of anticipating a little bit of a slugfest, especially kind of considering the styles. But Casa was backing up a lot more than what I'm used to seeing him. I mean, we know him to be that pressure fighter. You know, you kind of think about that Yoel Romero fight. But yeah, he was really backing up a lot in the fight. Sean Strickland just with that constant just forward pressure. But so I will say that I think Paulo Costa's best round was the 5th round. Even if he won a round, even if he won, he maybe won the 2nd. Paulo Costa maybe won the 2nd round, but dude, there's no way he won 49-46. Like, I don't understand how anybody came up with that score whatsoever.
Starting out, I thought he maybe won. I could see if a judge gave him round 1, because I was like, he was landing a lot of leg kicks, maybe hurt him early with the leg kicks. But outside of that, dude, I didn't see one instance where he was doing anything remotely positive to win the fight. He was just backing up and throwing big, and he was throwing no head punches. He was throwing body punches and leg kicks, and that's it. So I was like, when's the left hook going to come? Are you trying to take a page out of Alex Pereira's book? But he just don't have that power, dude. But yeah, sorry for cutting you off. I just want to let you know that was one thing I did want to say is, like, I think he maybe could have won round 1.
Yeah. And I think my other takeaway from this fight as well is that even though I do think Sean Strickland won the fight, I thought he won 49-46. Sean Strickland also cannot be mad at anybody because the way he fights, yes, you can say he won some of those rounds pretty clean, but some of those rounds were pretty close. Like, yeah, in terms of the strike count, he won clean. But when he's just throwing like those little teep kicks to the body,
Dude, he's just
yeah,
like,
like Paulo Costa's body.
he's like walking,
dude,
and looking so
Dude, it looks
funny.
like, dude, it looks so. It looks like he's like trying to like kick
Walk
water
with-
out of
with-
his
with-
shoe.
It looks
Like
like
he's like trying to kick.
He's trying to
He's
walk
trying to
with
kick
size-
water out of his shoe. Like he's got water at the tip of his shoe, and he's just trying to like kick it off. Like, dude, my feet are wet right now. Like,
Dude,
it's just,
I promise you, here's exactly what it's gonna look like. Get your daughter to put on a pair of your shoes, dude, and just get her to just walk around. That's what she's gonna do. She's gonna lift her feet up super high because your feet are like size 14. I remember that shit from way back in the day. Diddy Rose has these giant shoes, but it's just gonna be so awkward. She's gonna lift her feet up high as shit, and that's what it looked like, dude.
Yeah, no, it 100% does. And dude, his fight style just leads to end up, so many close fights. You go back to the Jared Cannonier fight and the Dricus fight as well. Both those fights are close, and I think both of those dudes, Cannonier and Dricus, had the power difference to basically sway the judges in their favor. And I thought both those dudes, Cannonier and Dricus, won those fights as well. Those fights are up for dispute, but Sean Strickland's fight style kind of brings that. And if he doesn't just absolutely put it on somebody, his fights almost always come down to a split decision. You can just about bet his fight is going to go down to a split decision.
Yeah, man, for sure. Anything else on the co-main event?
No, I'm good.
All right, so let's move to a fighter that came through for us, man. Me and you were both on Kevin Holland. Thankfully, he got this done for us because, I was just
in a gruesome way,
dude. It's just like sometimes you're like, come on, Kevin, you got this. Like, just do the thing that everyone knows that you're capable of doing, but he'll just go out there and toy around, dude. But I think he found out real early that Mikhail Oshechuk, he has that Polish power that he can't leave it in the hotel room. That's just stuck on him at all times. But yeah, dude, he ends up like, I guess Kevin was going for a kick, but he ends up hitting him with the hook like the same time, drops Kevin Holland, maybe stumbles him, I don't know, but falls into an arm bar. And here's what I thought was hilarious. It's Cody Brundage level of submission defense, dude. You fall into an arm bar, but you have one of your arms, one of Kevin Holland's arms trapped in your leg, dude. And it's like, dude, he can't arm bar you with one arm. So get your arm out of there and get free. He don't do that. This idiot just stands up. Kevin Holland's hands free. He pulls the other arm, yanks him back down, dude. And like once I saw him turn over and his arm was back, I'm like, dude, he better tap, because if not,
elbow on his heel.
He's gonna break it. And then I could read Kevin Holland's lips, like, are you going to tap? I'm going to break it. And then he like fucking looked like the ref and was like, all right. And like twisted it and like hipped into it, dude. I was like, oh, and then like he like gave, like he was trying to tap, and then Herb stopped it. And then he was like, I didn't tap. And it's like, bro, like watch the replay. You trying to post on your arm right after it happened. It's like, it's like jelly, like when you tried to post on it, dude. Your arm was broken, man. Kevin Holland comes through for us with a round one submission. I just had this under 1.5, and I had this Kevin Holland round one, round two. I also had Kevin Holland finish pretty much all those cash for us. Thoughts on this fight, man?
Yeah, as you said, Kevin Holland came through for us pretty big, and I was going to do just a straight up submission prop on him as well, but ended up kind of cowering out on that. But yeah, just a crazy sequence and how it happened. As you said, Kevin Holland ended up getting a little bit rocked. But yeah, I thought the coldest thing was him looking up and kind of saying, "Hey, I'm bound to kind of break this thing. Are you going to tap?" He's like, "No." Snap. I'm like, "Oh, like that is just absolutely gruesome, dude." It's just Oh man, like that. It reminded me of when Habib fought Justin Gaethje, and like he was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to break his arm in front of his parents, so I ended up like switching to like the choke instead because I didn't want to break his arm in front of his parents." I'm not saying that Kevin Holland should have gave up position, but now like watching that, I'm like, okay, Habib, that even came back forward even more so to say like I can see what you're kind of talking about now because I don't want to see somebody's arm sitting there boning around like in their skin, like literally getting ready to pop out at any moment. Like I was waiting for a compound fracture to happen. Like that's what I was waiting for, dude.
Yeah.
Like it looked absolutely gross, but it was good to see Kevin Holland back in the win column for sure. And this could maybe, I mean, as I said, I love watching Ola Shayshek fight, but as you said, you know, him training with his friends and stuff like that now could be the last fight for him in the UFC. So
it's got to be, dude. It is. It's like, dude, if you lose to him at this point, it's like you just couldn't get him to the ground. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Because again, he's a fun fighter when he's in there fighting a brawler, and he just started walking Kevin Holland down for the first few seconds. But I believe all his fights are and all his losses in the UFC are by submission except for one. So yeah, it's a pretty clear path to victory to beat Ola Shayshek for sure.
Indeed. The apple pie cake shitter of the week, dude. The one where if I could go back now and just, dude, for me it was Basil Hafez. I'm like, something about this fight makes me like not want to put this in my parlays. If I could go back and tell myself, hey, no, it's Alex Morono you don't want to put in your parlays, dude. Yeah, I really wish I could have, dude. I guess I didn't realize that Alex Morono was coming in on short notice. He looked the same as he always looked, other than the fact that he was completely gassed after like 8 minutes, dude. I was like, well, I lost this shit. Yeah, I don't even know what to say here. Shout out Nico Price. He needed to get that dub so he can pay for all those damn kids, dude.
Yeah, I think what everybody's feeling, you know, the bet buster himself, Alex Morono, he's starting to maybe get into that Cody Brundage level, and where I think I'm just going to end up staying away from betting on any of his fights because I swear every time like I try to bet on the method of victory of his or bet him to win, he ends up losing or something like that. He started turning into one of the bet busters for me to where I cannot call a fight of his right. I did not realize that he was taking the fight on 4 weeks' notice because I guess thinking about it now, he did fight Court McGee like a month or some shit, or 2 months ago.
Like 4 weeks' notice kind of sounds like, dude, that's enough time to at least get in shape. Whether you have the right game plan or not, I feel like you should at least be in shape in a month before a fight. But I guess not.
Yeah, it just looked crazy seeing Nico Price actually wrestling in the second round, and then Alex Morono coming out in the third round. And dude, he looked like Luke Rockhold against Paulo Costa. Like I remember him walking out in the third round, and I put my hands on my head and I said, "Well, my parlays are busted." Yep, I said I'm going to have a shitty ass night. Now, thankfully, my other bets ended up hitting, but as soon as I saw Alex Morono coming out like that in the third round, I knew my bets were done. I knew the fight was over. I will say he did hang in there with that chin in there in the third round because, dude, he was taking some big shots there, and I thought Nico Price was actually going to finish him.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, hell, let's be honest. How many people do we really have Nico Price like deading? You know, it's like he's not really knocking many people out cold aside from Alex Morono. Aside from Alex Morono himself.
But exactly, that's my point. And Nico Price, he does have some decent power because his punches are so awkward with his long ass arm.
So like fucking whipping.
Dude, some of them uppercuts were absolutely nasty. It actually ended up turning into a pretty decent scrap. So, but it honestly ended up being a better fight than Strickland and Costa, if I had to say. But yeah, damn Alex Morono. I'm not betting on him again.
Yeah. Randy Brown, Elizeu Zaleski, Capoeira dos Santos. Dude, this fight
also helped me.
Dude, this fight close fight. I had this starting round 3 in a few parlays, and I had this to go to decision in a few parlays. And round 1, my butthole was like fucking this big, dude, because dude, it's like they both like hurt each other, and at one point they both had each other in like rear naked chokes, and I'm like, Jesus, I just need this to go to the. Please start the 3rd round, dude. Just a nerve wracking fight, dude. One of the ones where it's like, I don't think picking Zaleski was a bad pick, dude. That was a good fight. Entertaining fight. If there's one thing you want to say, but yeah, one that for sure sealed the fate of me having to eat the beans this week. So, Randy Brown, Elizeu, Zaleski dos Santos. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
I thought it was actually a pretty good scrap, and I thought it was a good test for Randy Brown. And as you said, I did hear him say, or John Anik said that I guess Randy Brown came up to him after the fight and said he broke his toe after one of the first kicks in the first round, or or something like that. So I did hear him say that as well. But I thought it was a pretty good fight. And as you said, Dos Santos, he's good, man. He's a good fighter in the UFC. I think they said his record was 10-3 in the UFC coming into at this point. So I didn't even realize his record was that good coming in. He always puts up a good fight. He's very well rounded. And as you said, those, going for those multiple submission attempts, as someone who had Randy Brown by decision in a parlay, I'm sitting here sweating when Dos Santos has a submission on him, and I'm like, good job, Randy Brown, way to get out. And then Randy Brown gets a submission, and I'm like, dude, no, like, stop. Like, stop doing this. Stand up and just fight at range and do your favorite defensive move that you like to. I know you like to show off Randy Brown's defense.
Yeah.
But do that move again, stay at distance, and just win the fight like that. And, 3rd round got a little chippy there as well, but I did think Randy Brown won a clean 29-28. And what was a fun little scrap, and I thought honestly it ended up being a pretty good test for Randy Brown that he ended up passing.
I agree. Yeah. I like my girlfriend just is always like, who are you going for? Because I do the same thing. I'm like, yes. And then he gets out, and then I'm like, no. And she's like, I thought you wanted him to win. I'm like, I do, but not in that way, like it's just
I need the fight to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
It cannot end now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, these methods are gonna kill you, man. I swear they do.
Yeah, he said he saw him immediately hesitate and put it back down. Yeah, not a good look. Main event of the prelims: Roman Kapilov, Cesar Almeida. Yeah, me and you both picked Roman Kapilov, dude. What's up?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was thinking about your boy. We'll talk. It's the next fight. Next fight down. We'll talk about that fight. But I was thinking about that one in my head for some reason. Started laughing.
Yeah, Cesar Almeida, Roman Kapilov, dude. Roman Kapilov dropped Cesar Almeida in the 1st round, and I think went the rest of the round on top, just top control, dude. Round 2, I thought he maybe gassed out trying to get takedowns, and round 3, he got a couple takedowns, but Herb was really wanting to stand it up, dude. He wanted to see Roman Kapilov getting fucking knocked unconscious, but I was like, God, Roman, just please get him down again and just lay there. There's like 45 seconds left, dude. Please get him down. He shot, dude, that last 30 seconds. I'm like, let's go, Roman. I'm just fucking laughing, dude. Roman Kapilov. After this one was when I cashed out because I had a Roman Kapilov via points at plus 390, dude. And after that one, I was like, man, I ain't gonna test this shit no more. I already had like 4-5 legs in, like a few by points. I actually think they were all by points because. Besides the gelatin fight, because that was the only finish. So it was everyone by points or the fight to go like the distance, and like they were all hitting, but I was like, all right, I'm done risking it. I'm gonna take my $400 and I'm gonna ride off with it. So I guess what's your thoughts on Roman Kapilov, Cesar Almeida?
No, I thought it was ended up being a pretty good fight. And again, as you said, Roman Kapilov dropping Caesar in the first round and using that ground control. So, I messaged you because I ended up losing that parlay later thanks to Alex Morono, but I had Kapilov in a parlay as well. And I messaged you. I said, hey, Kapilov looking pretty good after the first round. I like it. I like it. And there in that second round, man, I'm not going to lie. When Cesar Almeida started walking him down, man, my heart started skipping a couple beats, dude. I'm like, oh my gosh, he is about to do the same thing. I keep forgetting the name of the dude that Cesar Almeida fought in his last fight, but
Dylan Budka.
yeah, Dylan Budka, yeah, and in his last fight against Dylan Budka, after he stuffed the takedowns in the second round, he just started walking him down, just started abusing him, and got him out of there. I started having flashbacks of that fight in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, he is about to walk him down and freaking finish him just like he did Dylan Budka. But Roman Kapilov was able to weather the storm there, avoid some big shots. And man, it is crazy to think about how dangerous of a kickboxer that Roman Kapilov is, and how dangerous he is, and to see him just to all of a sudden turn into an all-American wrestler. Like all of a sudden he started embracing his Russian roots and started wrestling a little bit more. And once he got Cesar Almeida in front of him, man. So funny how styles kind of make fights in that instance, because I'm used to Roman Kapilov being the one always having takedown shot on him, not him shooting for the takedown. But the old worn out work boot nose ended up getting the dub. So that was a good win for him.
Yeah, still working hard, still doing the damn thing.
Old steel toe nose.
Yeah, all right, dude. I know you are ready for us to talk about this one, dude. Jelton Almeida, Alexander Romanov, dude. I'm just like, dude. After this fight fucking was over, I'm like, dude, Romanov is such a fat piece of shit. Like, I'm almost positive that's exactly what I sent you, and you're like, that's your boy. I'm like, dude, when he was coming in, crushing all these dudes in the first round, was like weighing less and less every time. That Marcin Tybura fight, dude, was like peak Alexander Romanov. And it's like after that fight, it's like he got like a new contract, pay upgrade, and dude, with all of that money, he tells everyone, hey, I'm gonna go train, and he goes to a fast food restaurant and just sits there and spends his entire fucking paycheck on eating fast food and does not train in one single fucking bit, dude. I don't even.
He eats at least 4 Baconators in one sitting, at least.
Yeah, dude. I'm just like, dude, you were in good shape for one fight, man, and it clearly your issue is cardio, man. Like you're too fat to get off the ground if there's anyone on top of you, and then you're going to get tired if the fight goes 36 seconds. So clearly, we need to get you in shape, and it's just like. Dude, he'll beat the lowest level UFC heavyweights, and that's it, man. But Jelton Almeida gets back on track, round the 1 submission. I forgot if it was rear naked because he kept going for it like quite a bit. But I'm like his neck is too fat. I don't even know if you can choke him, but he ended up getting it. Yeah, he ended up getting it with with a rear fat choke. Got him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I want. I wanted the fireworks from you for Romanov because I knew that you were yeah, I believe the exact words you sent to me was Alex Romanov is so ass. Like I was like, yeah, yes, he is. Yes, I'm glad you're finally. You were such a big fan of him coming in, so that's why it said that that's your boy. But yeah, it's just clear once he gets up to this level, yeah, he's not ready for. I would say even
it's almost like once he got to the level that he's at, he was just like, yep, all the training I've done all my life, it'll just carry on, and I don't have to do anything. I can just I'll just have it always, dude. I don't got to do anything from now on. It just
Yeah. It does look like he kind of just like ended up giving up on like training and stuff like that. It's rough, but yeah, to see Almeida, kind of get the submission as quickly as he did, and for the call out, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the call out, and he said he was willing to
Cyril
fight him
Gane,
in
yeah.
France as well. So yeah, willing to do that, and we know that Cyril Gane is probably going to want to fight in France, but I'm going to be curious to see if he's actually willing to take that fight, or if he's going to be all of a sudden he's got an injury or something like that. So
You know damn
we'll
well
see
he
what
ain't
comes from
taking
that.
that fight. He ain't taking that fight. Cyril
He
Gane
wouldn't if he
wants
knew what was good for him. He wouldn't.
Cyril Gane wants no problems with anyone that's going to take him to the ground. Dude, you see how easy John Jones took him down, dude, and it's like, dude, if you look like Cyril Gane, you should put up at least some sort of defense, dude. It's just like fucking John's like, hey, fall over. He's like, all right. You have to like, he just don't tell him to fall over. He's gonna fall over. All right. Grant Dawson, Joe Selecki, probably one of my favorite plays of the week. I was on Grant Dawson, 3-or decision. Grant Dawson money line way earlier in the week when he was like minus 330, but dude, he closed like minus 560. Yeah, he just I didn't even watch this fight, D-Rose. I was making my first drinks during this fight. When the fight started, I was like, I'm gonna make my drinks real quick because this fight's probably going to go to the ground immediately. So I got up, heard the announcements, literally, like my girlfriend goes, "Oh, I was like, what happened?" She was like, "Grant Dawson threw a flying knee." I was like, "Oh, like all right." And then I heard, and Selecki fucking goes for like a guillotine. I'm like, well, this is gonna be here for the rest of the round, and I'm in there making my drinks for the entire second round, dude. I sat down at the beginning of the third round, and she was like, nothing has changed. It's just been the same thing the whole time. I'm like, yep, that's what I expected. And then I found out at the end of the fight that Joe Selecki got one of the rounds. I was like, I don't know. Well, I don't know which round he won because I didn't watch this fight. But from what I was hearing, it was absolute domination from Grant Dawson. Did you even watch this fight?
After the first round, no. And I guess really the closest round was that first round where Selecki had the kept going for the guillotines, and I think he actually ended up hitting I think he hit Grant Dawson with an elbow or like a hammer fist while he was on the ground, ended up cutting open Grant Dawson. So that could have been something, but once Grant Dawson ended up kind of getting the takedowns there, and was able to get position, Joe Selecki was a little bit of a threat with potential submission attempts, but once Grant Dawson was kind of just able to kind of get that full top control, just ended up doing what Grant Dawson normally does. And again, once Selecki started going for the guillotine, I was kind of like, hey, this is exactly why I did not bet on Grant Dawson right here, because he's about to walk right into a freaking guillotine. And as soon as he popped his head out after he did that, I was with you. I was like, well, this fight's over. All right, we'll see it. Yeah, I ended up checking out at that moment because Grant Dawson fights never end up being good. And the crowd ended up letting them know otherwise, or letting them know exactly that. So I wasn't actually too mad that they ended up doing it.
Yeah, we got Cujo Mac, bro. I hit 11 leg today. $1 to win 39. That's a solid turnaround, bro. That's 39 times your money. You can't. I mean, that's a solid hit. Solid hit. So Phil Rowe, Jake Matthews, dude. This was one where I guess I personally thought the fight was closer than what it ended up being, but I had bet Phil Rowe via decision in a parlay that did get busted. But thankfully, I didn't have him by decision in a whole bunch of stuff. I had the fight to start round 3 and the fight to go to decision in quite a bit of things because, dude, I changed up the way I did my betting fight study this week, dude, and I think I'm going to start doing it like that because this I think was the first week ever that I've won multiple parlays on DraftKings and FanDuel both, because it's usually I'll win one on either of them and that's it. I'll just win one parlay and then it's like if I don't win one parlay, then I don't win anything. But tonight, dude, I won on quite a bit of stuff, and it was because I didn't have a whole bunch of stuff in. Like I like put different things together, which I should always do, but I'm an idiot, dude. I bet the same thing on the. If I'm like super confident, I'm like, I'm gonna put this in everything, and that's the one thing that I'm wrong on. So, yeah, dude. Thoughts on Jake Matthews, Phil Rowe, if anything?
Yeah, I never been more of a fan of Jake Matthews because I ended up placing again. It wasn't a big bet, but I ended up betting Jake Matthews round 2 or 3 submission, and I think it was at plus 1,200. So it was like $5 to win. Like basically, like payout was like right at $70 or whatever. So yeah, I was pretty pumped up there late in the third round when he ended up getting that top position and was kind of going for that guillotine. And I know Phil Rowe ended up having good defense and was able to turn it around. But yeah, I'd never been a bigger Jake Matthews fan at that point. I'm like, dude, come on, come on. I'm standing up. I'm watching it on my phone at this point because we're still kind of walking around the house like I'm kind of like just getting in from work and stuff like that. But I'm sitting like, come on, come on. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, he's about to get the submission. He's with it. Oh, and Phil Rowe ended up getting out. So yeah, I was pretty upset about that. But honestly, that was actually a pretty good fight. I will say, man, Jake Matthews, he came to scrap. Phil Rowe was busting him up with that jab there early on, but Jake Matthews, I will give him credit, dude. He bit down, and some of those body punches that he was landing was absolutely nasty. Yeah, I thought it was a good scrap from both of them. I did think Jake Matthews was the rightful winner. But yeah, I thought it was a good fight overall.
All right, I agree. Basil Hafez, Mickey Gall, dude. This was one where it's like, I told like my girlfriend.
This is why we felt like this.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, Mickey Gall is so tough, but Basil Hafez is throwing heat, but Mickey Gall's kind of ass. Like, and then like she was like halfway through the first round, like she was like, I thought you said he was ass. I'm like, he is ass, as you see. He ain't doing anything besides just getting fucking mollywopped. Look at his face. Like, dude, midway through the first round, he's already cut like three or four different times. Dude, Basil Hafez throwing like Adrian Yanez was throwing at like Vinicius, like fucking Salvador, like a few weeks ago, dude. And it's like he was throwing no technique at all, just absolute power with every single one of his shots, trying to get Mickey Gall out of there. And like, I think midway through the second round, I was like, I think he underestimated Mickey Gall's chin. Like, I think he knew he could beat Mickey Gall, but he just didn't understand how tough Mickey Gall was. And then after the fight, he was like, I thought I was going to get him out of there. I didn't think he was like that tough. I'm like, yep, I was right. I knew it. But Basil Hafez wins via decision. Anything on this fight? But
yeah, I think this
was Mickey Gall looked kind of good in the third round with the jab.
Well, dude, I was about to say this is the reason why we felt this way about this fight, because Basil Hafez had one decent effort and a loss in the UFC, and he's a minus almost 400 favorite coming in against Mickey Gall, who again might not be the best fighter in the world, but is a little bit more battle tested in the UFC than Basil Hafez is. Yeah, and I stayed away from this fight completely, but I did watch it just as a fan, and it ended up being a pretty good scrap. I will say, I did think the way Basil Hafez was throwing there, I was like, dude, he's about to get Mickey Gall out of here. But he was landing some big shots, but again, Mickey Gall took some shots, took a licking and kept on ticking. And dude, like there in the third round, he ended up cutting open Basil Hafez with like a couple. He hit him with like some 1-2 combinations, hit him clean a couple of different times. And dude, I thought he ended up actually hurting Basil Hafez. And Basil Hafez got kind of tired there in the third round. So yeah, that ended up being a lot better fight. Like the quality of the fight was better than what I thought. I thought there was a potential that this could be kind of like a grapple fest, and they're just sitting there having a wrestling match similar to like Joe Solecki and Grant Dawson. But no, they just decided to throw down. And even Mickey Gall, you know, he's a guy who typically goes for takedowns. I don't even know if he went for a takedown. I think he might have like shot for just one small one just to try to create some space. But other than that, them boys threw down, and it ended up being actually a pretty entertaining fight.
Indeed. Like, there weren't a lot of like fucking finishes on the card, but the card was rather entertaining. I don't know if you saw this one.
It had a bunch of moments.
Yeah, Alien Perez, Jocelyn Edwards. This one, dude. What did I say last week? I was like, I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen with all the heat is they're going to come in here and they're going to try to finish each other in the first round, and they're going to kind of gas out, and then they're going to just be having a sparring match for the remaining 2 rounds. Yeah, I don't think that really went that way, dude. I think both ladies were, I guess, in decent shape, dude. Jocelyn Edwards showed a lot of improvements on the ground. Not so much takedown defense early, because Alien Perez is Alien Nurmagomedov, she's going to get whoever down at 135 for the most part. But once down on the ground, Jocelyn Edwards was able to reverse Alien Perez a lot of times, dude. Alien Perez's fight IQ is pretty terrible still. And on the feet, she's kind of ass, dude. She did land a spinning back fist that did knock down Jocelyn Edwards, but aside from that, dude, yeah, that fight, I truly think it probably could have gone either way. It depends if you like control more or if you think that one punch won her that round. But yeah, I had this fight going to decision, and thankfully it went to decision. Help me win some money on this card. Did you watch this fight at all, or you any thoughts on here?
Oh, I will say I did miss the first 2 fights. I was still at work when the first 2 fights happened, so did not get a chance to actually go back and watch those. I saw like the last 2 minutes of the 3rd round, but I was like, I didn't have enough to really know what happened in the whole fight.
All right, fair enough. And then Andre Lima, Mitch Raposo. Yeah, dude, that was just a clean, I think, decision win for Andre Lima, dude. I think like fucking Mitch Raposo just couldn't really get close to him and just kept getting calf kicked and just jabbed, dude. And every time the Mitch Raposo got close, dude, those calf kicks were just tearing him up. So if you want to go back and check that out, you can. But it was just basically a lot of calf kicks down at flyweight for an easy decision win for the most part. But yeah, dude, with that being said, let's get to a part that I didn't want to do. I haven't had to do this in a while, man, but I got a bag here. Our different fights this past weekend.
I'm surprised you're going to do it now and not Wednesday.
Dude, I'd rather get it over with now. I had a good night, so let me just these will taste a little bit better with some money in my fucking FanDuel account. So our first different pick was Edwards versus Perez. I went Jocelyn Edwards. D Rose went Alien Perez. Our second different pick was Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews. I went Phil Rowe. D Rose went Jake Matthews. Our third different pick was Randy Brown versus Zaleski dos Santos, where I went Zaleski and D Rose went Randy Brown. So that being the 3, I got to eat the beans already. But our fourth different pick, our fourth different pick. Our fourth different pick was Strickland versus Costa, where I went Costa and D Rose went Strickland. So at this point, if I get clean sweep, I have to eat 3 beans. But our last different pick was Makachev versus Poirier, and I did go Makachev. D Rose went Dustin Poirier. So I was close to having to eat 3 beans, but thankfully I didn't. So just 2 beans for me here today. I'm gonna put them out on there, and dude, God, I hate the colors of these, man. I've got a brown one, which is going to be liver and onions or cappuccino, and an orange one, which looks like it's going to be, God, I really hope it's strawberry banana smoothie and not dead fish, dude, because I don't like regular seafood. So if it's a dead fish, dude, I'm really not gonna. I probably will fucking throw up. So.
Oh gosh.
Here we go. Liver and onions. It tastes like Salisbury steak from high school, dude. I'm not a fan of that.
Hey, I used to love me a TV dinner at Salisbury Steak though back in the day.
Yeah, the key is used to, D Rose. God, dude. I've had one. I was thinking it wasn't going to be that bad because I won some cheddar, but if this is
You're trying
dead
to power
fish,
through.
if this is dead fish, dude, that's going to ruin my night. I think.
Dude,
I can't.
be
I don't
grateful
know if
you
I
didn't
can
get
prepare
boogers,
myself for
dude.
this.
Yeah, be grateful you didn't get
myself.
boogers. Let's go, dead fish.
Thank God! Yes.
Oh, no.
I bit it. I taste the sweetness flowing through my mouth, dude. Yes, dude.
Bull.
Thank goodness, dude.
Boo. We needed a dead fish to kind of end the
No,
night.
we did not, dude.
Yeah,
You're
we
an
needed
animal.
a dead fish to end the night. Hey, you've been laughing at my sorrow a little bit, so it's about time I get the rub salt in the wound.
But I still got like Salisbury steak flavor stuck in my teeth, which is bad about the beans because it gets fucking stuck in your teeth, and it's like, man, now I'm gonna taste this for like the next 20 minutes, which is funny usually because it's before the fight news like fucking segment, so we're just talking with this terrible flavor in our mouth, but
it's in there like burping.
So with that being said, D Rose, that is the entire recap. The main event all the way down to the first fight of the night. We recapped our bets. Let me for those of you that just want to see the parlays that won on Change to Cheddar from this past weekend, I believe D Rose gave out this one that did win. It was a $10 to win 54. So shout out D Rose for giving us a winning parlay for Change to Cheddar. And then two that I gave out was the prelim, the pay for the pay-per-view parlay, if you will. It was a 5-leg, $10 to win $95. And, we got a free pay-per-view or $10 pay-per-view, if you will. And then the one on DraftKings that I gave out that did hit was this one right here. It was a $10 to win $117 5-leg there. So both of those did hit. So if you tailed the Change to Cheddar parlays, I think I had $35 in total or $40 in total. So if you tailed all of them, you came up $160 or something like that, I believe. But don't happen every weekend. And just like I say to everyone every single weekend, don't be betting any money you can't afford to lose, because at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. It just happened to swing our way this weekend, D Rose. Anything before we get out of here, man? It's 2:31 and we've been here for 57 minutes. So that is a perfect time for, say anything we got to say to get out of here, man.
No, just unfortunate for the Diamond.
I am no longer pick champ, dude. D Rose is the pick champ. So Wednesday he'll have the bet. Oh nope, he has it here ready to go.
Yeah, no, 100%. I told you I'm gonna have it ready from now on. But unfortunate for the Diamond, couldn't pull it off, man. But gosh, one of our favorites. My heart was pounding the whole time. Wanted it to happen, but hey, man, it's all good. Still ended up being a pretty good night of fights. I know I had a decent night betting. I know you had a great night betting, so can't be too mad about that. So good night overall.
Yeah, indeed. Appreciate all y'all for stopping by and hanging out with us here tonight. You can catch me live Monday night for the Monday recap, 9 p.m. We'll go through all the Change to Cheddar bets, and we'll do the predict the fight winner. The winner will get their cards, and we'll open up some packs of cards that they choose as well. And then, you can catch me and D Rose right back here Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time, where we will be breaking down and making our picks for this upcoming weekend's fights, which I haven't even looked at. Don't even know what's happening. So it should be interesting.
Jared Cannonier versus Nasruddin Imavov, baby. The fight we've all been looking forward to.
Yeah, I bet. That's definitely an Apex card. I can just I like I heard the main event. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the Apex. Well, we got
100%.
Daniel Aker. Good shit, boys. We appreciate y'all for stopping by here and hanging out with us, chatting with us in the comments. With that being said, enjoy y'all's nights. I hope y'all enjoyed the pay-per-view. I hope you won some money tonight, like Cujo Mac here. Hit 11 like $1 to 39. That's pretty solid. 39
Let's
times
go.
your money. Yeah. With that being said, we will catch you guys next week. And with that being said, peace out. Thanks for stopping by here on the Golden Octagon
Peace.
UFC 302 recap.